We're talking about entrepreneurs this week. Joining me in the studio is Kizito Okechukwu. I hope I've got that right, Kizito. Right. I got it right. Yep. Thank you. He's the editor and head of research at Africa Entrepreneur. And from our bureau in Cape Town, Tracey Webster, who's the CEO for the Branson Centre of Entrepreneurship and Virgin Unite Africa. The Global Entrepreneurship Week is on there. Conference is happening in Cape Town from tomorrow. We'll find out more about those. But when it comes to entrepreneurs, I want to actually know what it is. Let's start with Tracey, because you're in Cape Town and it's a lot slower down there. So I'll speak slowly, Tracey. How do you define an entrepreneur?
Well, I think entrepreneurs are just the kind of people that are always thinking outside of the box. They don't play by the rules. They do things differently. They're incredibly passionate. They have a huge amount of perseverance, and they're determined to do things their way. They have a vision, typically, of a business that they want to implement. And they're just self-starters. They just get up and get the job done, and also typically the kind of people that are not affected by failure. It's a school of hard knocks, and I think what defines an entrepreneur is somebody that fails but can pick themselves up, be analytical about what they've done incorrectly, but be passionate about the future.
Now you see, that's where the first point comes in, because so many people are scared of failure. And because they're scared of failure, they don't actually even try something. How do you overcome that? How do you move from that corporate environment into an area where you say, I have a product, service, whatever, that I can deliver, which can make a difference and can make me money? How do you make that move? Because it's a psychological thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy, for having me. It's a very interesting factor, you know. I define entrepreneurs actually on 3 levels. I say they are creators, they are innovators, and they are leaders. So, and many of the times I think businesses or the small businesses we have, they fail to go to the next level because they lack the self-belief, or actually they lack the knowledge. They lack to seek, they don't actually have case studies of people that could inspire them to take their business to the next level. So I think that is what we're lacking currently in the economy at this stage.
Okay, that leads us to another thing then, because you've spoken about people stepping out of the box, having the courage to do that, but then you say they need the leadership. Tracey, this brings us to the question of mentors. Do we have mentors in Africa, or don't we? And I'm talking about the broader African continent now, because from my point of view, most of the people who've made money in Africa are people who are in politics, and they're not really good mentors, to be honest.
I would agree with you. I'd say that, well, first of all, we conducted some research earlier this year with entrepreneurs, and the thing that they were crying out for was mentorship and great role models. So we're in the process of developing a mentorship program where we really want to challenge business leaders, successful entrepreneurs, to say it's time to give back and engage with entrepreneurs and start mentoring them, because I think there are some great success stories out there. Whether they've decided it's time to give back and start mentoring is another question altogether. But I must just say that I was privileged enough to be part of the Archbishop Tutu Fellowship several years ago, where they select 20 leaders across the continent. And I was absolutely blown away by these incredible leaders across the continent, under 40, that I think are exceptional role models. And yeah, I think there are incredible people out there. It's just starting to harness those people and engage them in a mentorship program to start raising up the next generation of leaders.
Is that what you guys do?
We are in the process of developing our mentorship program, and we launched that in January next year. In the interim, we've had our Virgin MDs being mentors to a lot of our entrepreneurs, and it's absolutely critical, the role that they play, the advice that they give. A lot of the time just preventing our entrepreneurs from making some bad decisions, and it's that bad decision that can put your business under. So it's absolutely critical that we get this off the ground next year.
How then do people sit back and come up with a plan? Because the sense that I'm getting from this conversation is that people who are potential entrepreneurs are very creative people. Creative people know nothing about money, value, banking, balance sheets, all the rest of it. If there is somebody out there who is or thinks that they've got an idea and thinks that they are in this little bubble of entrepreneurs, how do they go about doing it? Because it's not easy to get out of that bubble and into the real life.
This is brilliant, in the sense that, today we hosted a business breakfast for the Global Entrepreneurship Week at Santon Convention, where the minister's representative from the public enterprise was speaking on this. And it is interesting to see the work Saso Chem City does. As an entrepreneur, if you have an idea that is in the chemical, energy, or related sector, just bring the idea. It's just in your head. Bring it to Saso Chem City. They actually take this idea, go through it, research about it, and then help you through the process. And a typical example, 2 years ago, there is a gentleman, Langa Sangoni, the owner of Apple Green International. 2 years ago, he had nothing. He went to Saso Chem City. They helped him, and today he employs over 100 people. He got a premises, the business is running, he turns waste into profit. So I believe we have the channel, but I think we just have to publicize it more often so that people or aspiring entrepreneurs could actually be aware of this channel so that they could easily go to this channel to obtain the help they need. That's what I think.
Okay, that's one channel. Tracey, do we have enough channels here to start breaking through this? Because there seems to be a glass ceiling here when it comes to entrepreneurs.
Well, the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship basically offers a foundation course. So any aspiring young entrepreneur that has just got their business off the ground and is suddenly saying exactly that, I don't actually have the business skills to follow through on this idea and really to grow it. And so what we do is we offer a foundation course, which is literally one Friday a week over 6 weeks. And it's really basic business skills that we teach people. And the outcome of that is that they'll develop a business plan by the end of that. Once they're in the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship, we also offer an advanced course. So for those entrepreneurs that are looking to grow and expand their business, and again, feel that they don't have necessarily the knowledge to be able to do that, our advanced course is over 12 weeks. It's more a day to a day and a half course. And that really drills into, the growth and expansion of your business. So for example, you're suddenly starting to employ people. It's not just about HR now, it's also about labor law. Also, there's a shift in just being the sole prop, the one-man show. Suddenly you're employing people, and we're starting to look at how do we develop leadership and the softer skills that those entrepreneurs require to really start growing successful businesses. So, and the beauty of what we're doing is that it's also for free. So we really are passionate about seeing these young guys getting the knowledge and the practical skills that they need to develop and grow their businesses.
Okay,
there shouldn't be a ceiling. There shouldn't be a ceiling. We've got to get over that. And I think part of what we're passionate about doing is brokering international opportunities for some of these guys, and to really start encouraging them to look beyond the borders of South Africa to expansion across the region and also across the globe. And so we've got some great examples of stories of guys that have started out in Soweto and are now expanding, into the UK. So,
but having said that,
it's
Tracey,
encouraging these guys. The speaker said earlier.
You see, these people in Cape Town don't listen anymore. Having said that, South Africa has a very low level of entrepreneurship. I mean, according to the research that I've been given by my producer, 35% of GDP compared with 60% in countries like India and Brazil. Why are we not finding these entrepreneurs in Africa? What's the reason?
You know, actually, the recent statistics research by StatsSS say that if you graduate from school and you don't get a job at 24, you are likely never to get a job. So I think
that's a scary statistic.
I think the problem we are currently facing is, Jeremy, we have to imbibe this knowledge of entrepreneurship in schools. We have to start at a younger level. We have to say, like, as African entrepreneur, we are saying that each and everyone needs to develop an entrepreneurial way of thinking. So even if you're working for a corporate, you could still be an entrepreneur. You necessarily don't have to start a business. You just have to develop that mindset, that thinking, so that in that same space you are, in that corporate environment, you could actually innovate and create more jobs, that people could actually come into that same space.
I think that's what a lot of people forget, is that within a corporate, and in Africa, possibly because of the commodities cycle that we're in, most people are working for corporates and they're not looking at how they can enhance what they're doing within that corporate, and they almost become a small, medium enterprise within the corporate.
Yeah. And what needs to happen at this stage is the corporate environment, maybe the management, needs to now say, how could we develop the staff? How could we develop our employees? How could we make them to be entrepreneurial? And that is by giving them the knowledge, by making them to believe in themselves. And with that, and that is what African entrepreneur does. They go around, they say, case studies of people like Langa Sangoni, they say, what could you share that could aspire other entrepreneurs? And that is it. We just have to develop an entrepreneurial way of thinking.
The Sudanese millionaire, Mo Ibrahim, a quote from him: "The best way governments can assist entrepreneurs is just to get out of the way."